Great, great. Okay, thank you. So in the market entry order for order set C, which is our phantom order, in the cancel after, it's going to be mode as any and cancel after the stop loss for B or the stop loss for A. We're going to cancel this order. And we're going to place the order after all simultaneously B profit target or B stop loss. And that made all the difference in the world. It executes well and fires off the second signal. And with this template, you want to save as a new version and then start creating your own modifications to it. So, for instance, if you want to only take trades after you break a range, for instance, say you want to be above the daily PT1s only, you can create a filter for that. So you can create a bloodhound template. Oops. Call it filters. V1. And now you can start putting some conditions on when you want to execute trades. So this could be just a matter of price being above the daily PT1 or below. Put the PT3 indicator in there, and we're not going to use fibs. We are going to put it on PT1, A or B, and put this on higher time frame true. Change minute to daily and make it 1. Say OK. Save your template. And then you've got to see this new multi-time frame indicator has been added. Anytime you add a time series, you have to reload your Ninja script. There you go. And so now when it is below the 1, you get a signal. And when it's above the 1, you get a signal. You see how that took you to the 3s, failed, took you to the 3, took you to the 3, took you to the 3, failed, ran out of time. So that's the right setup. And you can move this up to exit the higher one right there. So see how it's entering way down here when you could have been entering up here. And that is the difference between the open and close. This one is Globex open, not the daily. So if we were to add a filter for that, so let's call this daily one. we can go outside Globex by changing the time series to time range and starting my Globex. And save the template. Put an OR node. Save the template. Okay, so that allowed you to get the earlier entry. Because you're not going to get a daily break until the Globex breaks. And sometimes that's nice to get in, you know, you can put it wherever you want. You could put it on any range that you want to put it on, break a range. I like to go from the ones out. But if you would like to wait and break the PT3 and go for the tails, you can do that too. And the 1 hour IB is another one that you want to consider doing because that can get you in even earlier. So if I copy this and put 1 hour IB, change the time. Start time would be 8:30, end time would be 9:30. That shifts things a little higher. And what I like to do is do a companion one on the close. Tighten it up. So there is your up and down. And from that, you can have in your strategy whether to, trade with momentum or linear regression or something. But you could put any kind of filter you want inside of a Blackbird template. So let's save this as, what lesson am I on? Hang on one second. Lesson 7. So to bring this in, now that you've got a nice filter, we can put it in the market entry as a condition. So we can bring that template in and attach the strategy. This one, I'm going to hit the advanced button and hit the word add, and then I can get the bloodhound signal and put it in. So now we've got a requirement that order set A and B be conditioned on that filter condition being in place. I'm going to, I don't think it matters, but I'll put it on here so it just doesn't mess the template up. And that then would, we reload the Ninja script, we'll see this change a little bit because now we're requiring it to be in conformity with those filters as well as the long ball. So um, here's the long ball um, order, but it won't execute until it's above one of those PT levels. So I had daily, I had Globex, and 1 hour IB. So it looks like these trades here would have executed because they were above the Globex. And these would have executed because they're above the 1 hour IB. Do y'all have any questions? So just be aware that the filter can be placed right here. And make sure you look at your node. This is on any sequence. You would need to change this to in sequence because you added a condition. First check the profit target, then check to see if it's above or below the daily PT1 level. So I want to make sure this one, yep. So, and that's adding a filter. You could add anything else that you wanted. If you wanted to put, a, you know, trend filter, moving average crossover, or Bollinger Band on, one side or the other of the Bollinger Midband, or, whatever condition that you wanted to use as a filter to restrict trades. Hopefully, you can overfilter or underfilter. But, um, the trick is just, experimenting, seeing what, works if you eyeball something, and go from there. Let me um, take a look at the higher time frames once in a while, because especially when you get to the end of the month, you want to add that monthly and weekly distribution to your chart. And be cognizant of this, because as you see what happened on, what was this, the 24th, what day was that? Thursday or Friday? Thursday. we got below the PT3 and below the monthly PT3. So that was a disaster in waiting for those lower tails, and the market makers were wanting none of that near the end of the month P&L, so they pushed it back into the weekly ones. Do you see that? So that provided the relief, showing you that the market is coming back. And the market makers get paid when price closes inside the weekly one, the hedge funds and all that. They run their options to trade inside these ones to have the market close in there. So look at your trading calendar and look at the week of OPEX, and you'll see that that is when these breaks occur. And otherwise, you can set the chart up to hit these trades. This looks really good. That's requiring all of them. Might want to do. There we go. It's better. So I can change the Globex to. So if we were to trade this to the 2 and 3, so let's put the let me put the indicator in there. So I'm getting the less than 7 filters added to the bloodhound signal. Mm. And you can just trade this by itself without the other things just going to the target. So for the profit target, we're going to change it from price to indicator value. Put the JATS PT indicator on here. I'm sorry, got the wrong one. PT3. We don't want an offset, so take that out. So we want the PT3 up here. And we want to go from the ones to the 2. So the first thing we want to do is go to a Globex 2. So there's your Globex 2. And this has a, change this to Globex. And this one, we're going to go to the Globex 3. And that is if the profit target in A is filled, going to the 2, then we'll go to the 3. And this one, we're not going to, yeah, this is fine. It's the same thing, so I don't need this. It's redundant. And we're going to cancel if this stop loss gets hit. And the profit target needs to be changed to the indicator value. We're going to delete this bottom part. And you can see that the oh, that was right. I'm going to change this to the 3. So time range 1700 to 18. In my instance, I'm using that 1 hour IB range. Well, hang on. Yep. Wait. That would be wrong one. 1700 to 830. Pardon me. 1700 to 830. Let me go back and fix that other one. For the stop loss, I can do that 1 hour range thing. So we're taking the Globex PT3, PT2 on the indicator value, but I'm using that 1 hour IB for the Asia session for my stop loss. We'll try that. And for this, I don't need that third thing we put in there. This bloodhound signal, that's redundant. So let's give this a try and see what happens. Going from the Globex 1 to the 2 and the 3. And then we can add the other filters in, like with the slope. So this looked pretty good. A 2% profit factor, a high probability. I like that. It just isn't going very far. I mean, because it's a narrow range. Y'all do get that, right? It's the Globex range. It's small. And we're going from the 1 to the 3, which, I mean, the 1 to the 2 and the 2 to we're going to the smallest part of the range. So, but it has a high percent profitability and um, profit factor. Probability and profit factor. Looks good. 55 winning trades, 4 losing trades. So that's really good. And five minutes in the market. And so that is to Globex. If we want to do another algo and change it to the daily, or change this to add slope, we could try to get this better. So we could come in here and add slope. So we could copy this and then show that it's got this long short modifier. And long short for shorts. I mean long shorts for long and short. But for shorts, we only want the longs. We don't want to go short on short ball. We're going to say false. But that will allow it to go long on a short ball, which happens all the time, especially in the equity indexes that drift up. All right, so we've got the one with slope in it. Right click, reload NinjaScript. And it might improve if we stop trading after we hit the target. I think this is trying to get back down there if it reopens another trade. But yeah, we got more profits out of it by putting the slope requirement. So that went up to 64. So that's good. We increased the profitability. That's always good. Went from 54 to 64, so another $10,000 just by adding a slope filter. That's not bad. Profit factor came down just a hair, not too bad. But the overall trade's 46 to 6. Got 2 extra bad trades that's that long vol. That's adding the long vol. I bet if I restricted it just to long vol, that would go away. Not giving it a short vol permissive, but we did get more profit from doing that. So, and the overall, winners and losers look really good. And again, the high percent profitability evidenced by that. And it's a good profit factor. And like I said, we're not going far, right? We're going from the 1 to the 2 and the 3 into Globex, which is one of your shortest ranges. It's shorter than RTH or daily, of course. But that's the idea for you guys to understand that you can trade either to the indicator level or to the a percentage of the range. I like doing both. And to get a winning target, limit this to 2 winning trades, one to go to the 2 and one to go to the 3. And let's see if that makes a difference. Guys, y'all have any questions? I don't see anything in the chat. Y'all want to talk to me? Somebody say something.
Hey, Julie.
Hey, Ty.
I do have a question, and this is so this is only takes trades during Globex because that's the time of the data that we selected, correct?
No, incorrect.
So it takes trades during the day.
It can take trades. Yeah, it can. Of course,
Whenever.
it can take whenever it leaves the Globex 1 to go to the Globex 2 or 3, and that could happen in the daytime.
Gotcha. Okay.
So by limiting that last thing that I put in there, narrowing it down to the 2 or 3 trades, we got a higher profit factor, but a lower percent profitability because I'm telling it that after it hit the 2 or the 3 to stop trading. So I'm just going from the very minimal 1 to the 2. But it's a high probability strategy. I mean, you're looking at this and understanding that, right? That's what I'm trying to teach you guys, Obi-Wan. Look, high profitability. You want something that is, you want to leave the 1, go to the 2, or go to the 3. Now, if I change this to quit allowing that short volatility and make it long vol only, so we'll just get rid of the second one and connect only, take this trade on long volatility and rerun it. we'll get a better result. Not as many messed up trades, I think. We'll see. We'll test this theory. Yeah, about the same. But you could put things in like bar direction, you know, momentum, trend, you know, this will make a difference right here, just putting a bar direction. That'll clean it up a little bit more. So I'm just trying to teach you guys that you go from the 1 to the 2 and the 2 to the 3 on these different time frames. And so that was the Globex time frame, going from the Globex 1 to the 2 to the 3. They hit those Globex 2s and 3s in the RTH session all the time. And if you break the Globex 3 and just take a trade leaving the Globex 3, out, that is a very bullish or bearish um, trend break. Globex 3 out is very big Globex trend break. And I'll test that for you next. Did I F5 that? That didn't seem to go through. Hang on. Yes.
Yes. And I'm just speaking for myself.
Good.
I'm just going to be completely transparent. I've gotten behind on getting the templates and everything going so I can experiment like you're experimenting.
No, I
So,
think you're pretty caught up.
well, not getting it in Blackbird and things like that.
But you have to create your own.
I know I do. And so yeah, okay.
So go ahead. What was the question?
I don't know if I had a question. It was more of a statement.
Yeah. So Blackbird is very easy to use. You just bring in a Bloodhound template file. So we just created a Bloodhound template file called filters. And
No, I understand that.
You understand this part. Okay.
I just don't understand.
Go ahead.
I'm trying to understand the core, bringing in the core, like the different order sets and then creating those. And that's what I have to do is I have to sit down and grind through that and do it.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I haven't been putting it off. I've just been confused, and then it goes all of a sudden we have another class, and then I'm get more confused, and then
Sure. Well, getting used to, just working with the nodes and everything will take some time.
So I guess my another question is where are the videos? Where are
There really aren't. I mean, I'm a one-person person. I haven't really
No,
gotten
you've done videos, you've recorded
a
stuff,
lot.
and you've done
Yeah.
stuff in the past that's led up to this. I
Yeah.
was just trying to figure
I
out
just
where
don't
those
have
are.
it. I just don't have it organized in a place like,
Oh, okay.
here's lesson 1, 2, 3, to walk you through that. But um, most people are already familiar with Bloodhound to a certain extent. And it is a small learning curve, but it goes pretty quickly. The the basic issue with Blackbird is in an order set. Let me save this and clear this so that y'all can look at this. You can bring in your Bloodhound logic from any Bloodhound template that you have. So do you get that part, right?
I
So you
totally get that, and
yeah.
I've built some stuff on my
Yeah,
own,
right.
just practicing.
So you can
I'm
bring something in, yeah.
Yeah.
And so from there, select what you want to bring in for your signal, you can do practically anything with these order sets. You can use a market entry order like we've been using, and you can use a limit order, which was going to show you. And we could do that today or another day. But
Time out for 1 second.
uh-huh.
I understand that. My I I lost track of my question. I'll
Well,
circle back in a second.
well, let's look at the PT indicator, and this will help you.
Oh, I know what it was.
Yeah, go ahead.
The latest, because I know the templates change often. I guess I want to make sure I have the right template. And is that the lesson two, which is the core template on in Bloodhound?
Well, I mean, lesson two was just doing a 17 threshold. I mean, it was just a concept. It's not a
Okay,
core or anything. It was just saying, I mean, the template is designed not as an algo.
I know
It's
that.
just yes.
It's just
It's for
stuff
you.
that's
Yeah, yeah.
it's
So
kind of
what you want to do
organized.
is just get a concept of where you want to be on this volatility, because you can capture volatility easily with those threshold solvers by saying I want to be above or below a level. So that lesson two was just above or below a simple 17. That's way down there, right?
Right.
So you could make it a 21 or 25 or whatever you want. This was just saying if it's below 17, don't take a trade. But if it's above 17, you can take a trade if the slope is rising, because we were going with the expansion.
Correct.
Correct. So that's all that lesson two was. And to put more requirements on that, so yeah, you're saying, well, slope is fine. I mean, well, threshold is fine, but and you're going with slope, but what if I want something else? And that's what I'm trying to show you, is that you can add these filters to any existing template, or just trade the filters that you create on their own. So I could put this filter requirement as a signal in a brand new template and trade that by itself, or I could add it to whatever template I had as a requirement condition by popping it in this place after. So I could choose the Bloodhound folder here and get anything I want as a condition that I've created. I called this one filters, and you can insert it as a condition before you execute whatever signal. So you're going 17 long, and then now this one is saying, but it has to be above or below the Globex PT1. So you can be the master of your domain. If you look at your chart and you say, I like these breakouts of the weekly, or, I want to trade the dailies. I don't even want to touch it unless it breaks a daily. Or you say, I don't care if it's a daily. I like the 1 hour IB, which is faster, get me in faster. Um, because we're limiting our world going outside the 68% to the 95. So we're limiting the range. As you saw, the profit target was lower, but the percent profitable and the number of trades that are positive versus the number of trades that are negative are far greater. So your odds are very good that the market wants to go there. So you could do a lot in here by, you know, filtering it to say, I want to make sure X, Y, and Z are in place. If I want to do it with VWAP or whatever. Um, and once you get all your, requirements in, and you get a high probability setup like that, that's when you want to just, try adding. contracts or something and use it as your bread and butter setups to build your accounts. Something that's a high probability. And then you could take these and, go out to the ones of the daily instead of the Globex. So if it's going to break the daily one and go to the Globex 2 and 3, which are these purple lines, if it breaks the Globex 3 right here, that is where it's going to race to the daily 2 and 3. And it won't go to the daily 2 or the daily 3 unless the Globex 3 is broken. Capiche? So instead of even trying for the um, daily 2 or 3, like right here, you wouldn't put an order in to go to the daily 2 or 3 until you break the Globex, because you won't go to the 2 or 3 of the daily until you get past that. Most 90, most of the time the way it's set up in the RTH session. And you could put a, filter on here to only go in the RTH session. That'll filter out a lot of that noise. So there's not really any core tie. There isn't any cohesive. They're just individual pieces of how to use the PT indicator with Bloodhound and Blackbird so that you can build your own strategies. Um, does that help or to confuse you even more?
No, that helped.
And my apologies. I am, you know, don't have a real professional training curriculum, guys.
No, that's not what I was getting at. I just didn't want to be asking stupid basic questions when if the other guys are way ahead of me.
Oh, no, no, no.
But I also wanted to
That's,
pump the
yeah.
brakes if the other guys are kind of in the same boat I am.
Well, what do they say? Guys,
I,
what do y'all think? Ed? I mean, Tom, they're brand new too. Y'all are all at the same time.
I just feel like I'm in a college organic chemistry class and I missed the first 2 weeks of class and I'm behind and I don't even
Ah,
have a damn clue. And so
uh-oh.
that's where
That's not good.
and, and that's kind of exaggerating a little bit, but that's just what I feel like.
Uh-oh.
And I don't
Okay.
want to be that guy
Well,
in
I
this
am so
class.
sorry. I'm sorry.
For what? No, you don't have any reason to be sorry.
Okay. Well, that doesn't sound good. I want you to feel better about it. But yeah, I'm here just, we can meet Mondays. You have to go through it on your own. Just play with it. Take your time to move these out from 1 to 2 and 2 to 3. Let me just check this performance to see what happened to it. I made some modifications. Realize that each time you change something, you're going to get a change in your settings, right? So by that last modification I made, it increased my profit factor to a 299, which I like a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And my percent profitability went to 83%. So with that 3 profit factor and the 384 over here and a 43,590, I mean, this is something that I think is pretty darn close to you'd want to be looking at this pretty closely and maybe structure a trade plan using or something
So,
around, I'm not trying to say that this is an algo, but I'm saying you would want to find things like this for yourself so that you could structure your own trade logic around it.
So my question is how do I get what you have on your screen so I can build my own? I know
Well,
that you're not building it.
I'm gonna send you the Blackbird template so that you could use it as a guide,
Yes.
but it won't work in your computer. You'll have to look at this as a guide and then build your own. Is that okay?
No, that's perfect.
Okay. So I apologize that you have to look at one and then put it in the other one and look at
No,
one.
because it helps me learn.
Okay. Um, one day I'll get this remedied, but it won't be any day in the next couple of weeks. We'll have to keep going this way.
It's fine.
But yeah, no, you can have this. We're going to be giving the, yeah, that's lesson 7. I'll give you this template to check out and hopefully learn how to mix and match your concepts of using the indicator to go outside a level with long vol. Because if it's going outside of a level with long vol, hopefully it's going to target. And you can spread those targets out. This one was going to the closest target there was, the Globex. Well, the 1 hour IB target is a good target to go to too, but we can add the daily as a target to trade to. So let's save this and then save as, and we'll call this lesson 7 Globex. And then we're going to save as again, and we're going to say lesson 7 RTH, daily rather. So on this one, we need to change this to the daily. So go into the indicator, that's our profit target, and change it from time range to higher time frame, daily 1. Okay. And change this one to the daily 1. I'm going to put these on the close, the daily 1 on the close, and go back over here and change that to the close. And put this on the daily 1 so it matches. Oh, this was on price. I don't think this matters because it's not getting executed. So I'm not going to change that. And these were set for the Globex. I'm going to change this to the 8:30 to 9:30. And this one 30, 9:30. And I'm going to bring this in. Okay. Name it daily. And daily. So we are using Sorry, guys. Daily 1, 2. Okay. So I don't need a condition in here because it's redundant. So we're going from the 1, going out to the 2 and the 3, and let's see what I did to the daily from the Globex. Yeah, it gets better. So much better to trade going both. I mean, you go to both. Have an algo going to the Globex and then have another algo going to the daily, Mix and match your ranges. Make sure, that you're going with the slope and shoot for them. I mean, like, it's like hitting um, base hits, right? Over and over and over. Base hit, base hit, base hit. Leave the 1, go to the 2. If the um, order is filled, try to go to the 3. Looks good to me.
I like it.
I do too. And that's what it looks like. I mean, you can play with it yourself, use your own ranges, if you want to try your 15-minute range, or that's how I started this, guys. I started out on a 15-minute range, going from my 1 to the 2 to the 3. Me and my spreadsheet. Yep. So, that's about it in a nutshell. So that's going to the indicator target, and then you can see what we can do just using the time ranges. So use all 3, together, go use your time ranges, algo, um, with a directional, above a volatility threshold level in your sweet spot. I think I've shown each one of you between like maybe the 20 and the 40 or something like that, or look at your, whatever that is, 20 and 50, whatever you see on your 15-minute bar. And when slope is going up at that time, you can, look to see where you are. And are you going to a target? Are you leaving the 1s? And if you are, where are you going to go? Which set of 2s and 3s will you find first? Are you going to find the IB range? Or are you going to find the Globex range? Are you going to find the daily open or the daily close? So there's all kinds of levels to trade to, and the trick is getting used to the progression and how they flow in and out. The market flow, the flow, and knowing that the dealers, the big banks, they're trading these spreads. This is what y'all can probably teach me. They're staying inside the 1s pretty much. They want it to close in and out of there, and they get paid. Their options close inside his. Here, they're just eating theta. They don't care. Go up and down all you want. Go to town. But when it leaves the 1, that's when they're having to hedge their portfolios because it's directionally trading out to the range, to the edges. And y'all just get used to that flow around the ones and wait for your opportunities for that one to break, whatever time frame. The higher the time frame, the better. You know what I mean? But
Mhm.
and figure out where you are in the middle of the monthly distribution too. Um, Picked up those really good trades with the monthly on here when it came down way down to the low tails, and everybody thought, it was time to bail or to keep, selling, and I was like, "No, buy, buy. We're at the end of the range. Turn it around." So, that can help. But then realize, when you're in a upward sloping high volatility, it's gonna, cost you a lot of money to sit in that trade, because it's gonna go up and down a long way. So try the sim trade and try the micros, or it can, unless you have an extra, you know, 10,000 to make sure that you're in the right direction, because it can be expensive, especially when it gets this, frothy. It got pretty up there this week.
You know, um, the Bloodhound template that you showed, where it's yours and you have the low and medium and high vol.
Uh-huh.
How is that different than just like above the 17 capturing the medium and the high?
Well, I didn't have the above 17 capturing the medium and high as my template. I had my own algorithm
I
as
gotcha.
my logic,
Okay.
right? And so basically, the low medium vol I set up by drawing my lines on my 15, and I set up thresholds. So in your filter, you could say low vol, right?
Yep.
Then you can put a threshold filter in there, right?
Right.
An and node and a bar direction. And in the threshold, you're going to put the PT2, and just like that with, if you want to lock it to that 15-minute time frame, because that is the way you're doing your low, medium, and high. You're basing it on that 15-minute time frame, but you could trade this template like on a 5-minute chart. It doesn't matter. You could put a 15-minute threshold in here. Are you following?
Yeah, I'm following. And you have a time from 8 to.
Well, I'm going to change that.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay, gotcha.
yeah, yeah. So, so that would be a not a time. That would be a 15 right there. So it's use higher time frame.
Plus, okay.
Minute 15. I don't have to change anything. And just put, so if you want it to be above a 20, put 20 in there, and where it says long would have to be greater than 20, and short would have to be greater than 20. They both have to be greater than 20 to go long or short. Do you see that?
Yes.
And there you go. And save your template. And then you can name this low vol. And that will be your low vol for this template that you're working on. Or you could put this in your filters template
Mm-hmm.
so that you could always have a filter, So the don't stack these up. I mean, with a whole bunch of stuff. Try to keep your templates lean.
Okay.
Don't put the RTH stuff on here. Separate that out. Save a new one for RTH. And so then you would create a new um, logic node, name it medium, right?
Mm-hmm.
Go over there and copy your low. name it medium. And then if you decided that you wanted to be above 35 for medium, just, pick a number out of the sky. Whatever that is, there you've got your medium, greater, greater, and you can do the same thing. Put the, oh, I'm sorry, let me go back here. I need to put a long short modifier. And long short. I think that's right. Let me get it out of Blackbird. But that's to answer your question, how you would do it.
Thank
And yeah. So put your thresholds in there, low, medium, and high. You could also put other um, new things. What are they called?
you.
When you push the word new, new logic boards, and call one RTH session and one Globex session, and then just pop a time session solver on here, right? And connect the time session solver to the time session you want in your time zone to execute whatever you want it to execute.
Mhm.
And then put it together with a anytime you put requirement on it, make sure you connect it to an end node in bar direction. So your filter is the RTH session with bar direction.
Okay.
And then when you use it as a filter. And you could do the same with RTH, and that way you have an RTH, Globex, and start creating your filters. So that's how you do it, and then just create um, your template. Next week, then we'll do the limit order pullbacks because price doesn't just go directionally to target as easily as I'm showing you that it does here, because we have got a very fine-tuned, specific, we know the location for the breaks, right? We know where the range breaks are going to be.
Right.
And we're going from the 1 to the 3. So we're in a lot better shape. But other people aren't so lucky to get that directional move because it will go up and down even in that. So like right here, that's pretty big up and down before it went to target. So to get pullbacks, I can do that quantitatively using the current dynamic market volatility for the time frame for these pullbacks, and you would be surprised how accurate they can be. Um, Use your, market analyzer and pay attention to what these pullback opportunities are, and be just put nothing on the chart but a minute chart up and start using your drawing tool and seeing how much a pullback is distance wise, and look at your market analyzer and start appreciating and understanding in the middle of the trade session how far will these retracements likely go. That was a big retracement, 280 points before it turned around and went back in the direction. I mean, to sit through that, if you were trying to get long from this white line up here, um, that's $5,600. You know, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
So, have a plan for a um, stop loss. If you don't want to wait and see if that's going to work back out in your favor or not, um, or just trade once it leaves a level, another level. Um, the last level. Um, but have an exit plan is what I'm trying to say. In addition to an entry, um, I am pretty much doing time sessions um, based on the current volatility, and they can be deep. Um, er, they could be quite, down there, and especially if you start getting the two trades going against you at the same time. Um, so make sure that you can make those considerations for your own risk profiles. The price when you're inside the ones is going to be rotational. It's going to go up and down. And the market makers want it to go up and down in the range. They don't want it to go out of the range. They'll push it around in here up and down. They'll run stops and stuff. They'll have fun inside the range. It's when it goes out of the range that's where you get your chance for a directional big push. Inside the range, it's just going to go up and down, chopping over your algos, eating them alive. And when I noticed that um, when I did when I checked that last trade performance report on the outlier days to find out why the drawdown was so big, it was in an inside day where it was just chopping over itself up and down. I would get a signal to go directional trade and it would turn right around. So knowing that now, I can clearly see that there's an advantage of waiting until you leave a one before you go outside the range on these multiple time frames. Any other questions, guys? I'll send you this template. Y'all can practice with it and let me know if you have any questions. I forgot to send this other guy. I'm sorry, Ed. Got another student, and I just simply forgot to add him to the distribution list. I'm getting old, senile. I've got Earl. I meant Earl. I apologize, Earl. My apologies, sincerely.
Thanks for your time today.
Okay, guys. Ed, do you have any questions? Tom, you okay? I got Skype messages. Bet that's him asking. Jonathan, yeah. I had two guys. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I'm going to have a second training session now. Well, let me see if I can invite Jonathan in real quick. I screwed up. Guys, I'm so sorry. Wasn't intentional. My deepest apologies. I've had a lot going on this morning, other things. My mind was not there. And you know what? We can do a training session tomorrow. Um, so if anybody would like to attend tomorrow, we'll do another one. Oh, I feel terrible.
Could you invite me to that one?
Oh, absolutely. I'll invite everybody. Everybody's invited. I apologize so much.
And is it for the newer guys you're saying?
Yeah, I've got
Okay.
some guys here and I just totally forgot both of them like an idiot. I thought I had everybody. Um, he's typing, so hang on. And it's very late where he is. Let's see. Yeah, it's probably already 9 o'clock at night. Okay, perfect. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Jonathan. We can do a group session tomorrow. Okay. Okay, guys. I apologize. Terrible senior moment. I was out there playing with the fire pit. I'm so sorry. And I didn't realize that, the time was here and I raced to get the recording on and it totally slipped my mind about Jonathan and Earl. So great. Perfect. He's such a nice guy. All right. Thank you, all of you. And we will see you tomorrow then, Ty.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you so much, guys. We'll talk to you soon.